ka-nursing! Hi everyone! My name is Maria Alexandria C. Vilmoria from BSN 2A and welcome to What's in My Bag as a Velas College nursing student. So, I know that it's been a while since I last filmed a vlog and status update, I'm currently a second year nursing student. So, a lot of things happened and a lot of things changed. And I have SN at the end of my name. And also, 2-day retdems became 2-day duties. Yes, duties. So speaking of that, I have here my bag that I always bring during RLE days. These are my must-haves. Let's check them out. So, as you can see, I have my notebook that has everything, my calculator, my tri-pen, the drug handbook I made last year, and of course, for FDARs, we have Nanda. We cannot also forget the paraphernalia pouch. Let's go through this bag together, shall we? So, first up, I have my Pulse Oxy. There you have it. And I also have my bandage scissors, my pen light, my pen light, and my thermogun. Okay, so there you have it. And also my stethoscope and sphygmomanometer. Now, seeing all these paraphernalias and being exposed to different healthcare areas, I realized that there are a lot of things around us that makes our lives easier, such as the bag that I showed you, or technology, or medical devices. And with that, a question popped up into my brain, and I just had to interview few nursing students in my dorm what electrical medical devices they cannot live without.
Wow, it's really handy. It's quick and painless.
It's pretty small.
It's literally right on your fingertips.
Any guesses what it could be? Yes, you're right. It's a
Pulse Oxy. Pulse Oxy. Pulse Oxy.
You heard it right. The electrical medical tool that we would be discussing today is what we call a pulse oximeter. But what is it for? So, a pulse oximeter is a medical device used to measure oxygen saturation in the blood, or your SpO2, and the heart rate. It is also commonly used for monitoring respiratory conditions or cardiovascular conditions such as COPD, asthma, pneumonia, and even COVID-19. So it is an easy and painless measure of how well oxygen is being sent to parts of the body furthest from the heart, such as your arms or your legs. Okay, we know what it is for, but how about its parts? Don't worry, I will break it down for you. So your pulse oximeter have 5 major parts. First one is your LED light source, your photodetector, your microprocessor, your display screen, and the battery source. So first is your LED light source. So that part is what sends out a red and infrared light through your fingertip. And the photodetector is a tiny sensor that detects how much light has passed through the blood. Your microprocessor is then the brain of the device. So it calculates how much is your O2 saturation and your heart rate. We also have your fourth part, which is the display screen. So it displays the values that you need. And lastly is your battery source. Now that we know the parts, is that enough? So no, no, no. We also need to know how it all works together. So we have to learn the principle of operation of our pulse oxys. So our pulse oximeters, they rely on PPG sensor. So that is your photoplethysmography sensor and the Beer-Lambert's law, which states that the absorption of light is related to the concentration of a substance. In this case, our hemoglobin. So hemoglobin exists in two forms. No? So you have deoxygenated hemoglobin and your oxygenated hemoglobin. And different wavelengths of light are absorbed by different types of hemoglobin. We have talked earlier about LED light source, right? So it emits two different wavelengths. The first one is your red light, which is absorbed more by the deoxygenated hemoglobin. And we also have your infrared light, which is absorbed more by your oxygenated hemoglobin. Then, your photodetector on the other side measures how much of each wavelength of light is absorbed. And then, your microprocessor will calculate the ratio of absorbed red versus infrared light. So, the formula would look like this. R is equals to absorption of red light over absorption of infrared light. Okay, so we know how it gets the SpO2. But I've always wondered, how can it get the heart rate with just light? No? So, unlike veins, your arteries pulsate with each heartbeat, causing small changes in blood volume in the capillaries. And the amount of light absorbed fluctuates with each heartbeat as blood volume increases and decreases. Therefore, your pulse oximeter detects these rhythmic changes in light absorption, and it counts the number of peaks in absorption per minute, and that turns into your heart rate or your beats per minute. Wait, Val, you already said so much about pulse oximeter, but I really want to use it already. Don't worry, we're already in that part. To prepare your patient, you should ensure that their hands are clean and that they are free from nail polish or artificial nails, because that can affect the readings. Also, the patient must be in a relaxed position, preferably sitting position, and you could also warm the hands since cold fingers can reduce blood flow, which will then affect the readings. Finally, we have reached the exciting part, which is demonstration. Now, assuming that we have already done the preparations needed, we will turn on the device by clicking this power button. Just like that, and open it like a clip and place your fingertip, preferably your index or your middle finger. So ensure proper placement. So the device must fit snugly but not too tight, and wait for the reading, which will display right a few seconds. And there you have it. You will interpret the results. So for me, I got SpO2 98% and BP is 97. And you remove the device after reading and turn it off if it doesn't shut down on its own. But mine shuts down, so we'll just put it there. But Val, what's the normal range for SpO2 and heart rate? Great question. So for your heart rate, adults normally range within 60 to 100 beats per minute. And for your O2 saturation, 95 to 100 is the normal range. But 94 to 90 is what we consider a concerning blood oxygen level. Less than 90 is considered critical already. That less than 80 is considered severe hypoxia, and less than 70 is already acute danger to life. For indications, your pulse oximeter is indicated for patients who need monitoring of oxygen, such as those with respiratory conditions or on mechanical ventilation, or those who will undergo or have undergone surgery or anesthesia. We also have critical and emergency care, and then we also have cardiovascular and pulmonary conditions, those who have heart failures or pulmonary embolism. We also could use it during sleep monitoring for screening of sleep apnea or any sleep related breathing problems. Lastly, we can use it for exercise and altitude monitoring. So, athletes who want to measure their oxygen levels during training, and those high altitude travelers could also use pulse ox to assess for hypoxia. For contraindications, pulse oximeters are generally safe, but they may not be suitable for certain conditions due to inaccuracies. So, for example, poor perfusion states like hypotension, shock, or severe anemia. You also have your motion artifacts, those patients with tremors or excessive movement and shivering. Third is external factors which affect the accuracy, as what I've said earlier, nail polish or artificial nails, and also carbon monoxide or methemoglobin poisoning, as they can falsely elevate SpO2 levels. Overall, I find the pulse oximeter a really beautiful product, since for me it is a revolutionary device that has helped transform the healthcare we have today, since it allows us to do manual procedures like heart taking more quickly and more efficiently, and also it allows us to do things that we cannot manually do, for example, blood oxygen taking. And also, it has a lot of advantages, including being painless, non-invasive, it's quick, you could use it for real-time monitoring, and it's also really portable and convenient. But of course, we can't deny that it has its disadvantages, including its accuracy limitations. The fact that it has to be dependent on proper use should. It's also the fact that it could give false readings, for example, on cases with carbon monoxide poisoning. But despite its limitations, I still find the pulse oximeter a really useful product, as it brings healthcare closer to its patients. I guess we've reached the end of the video. I wish I could talk more about pulse ox, but I think I'll just use it later after I practice PE. Bye!
To 100. Ay, tissue. Ikaw daw, mami. Water lang. Wow! Yes, father.
So guys, so one of the indications for pulse oximeter are athletes, and here we have an athlete. Let's check the pulse up. So some pulse oximeters can be used as tools. So we have another patient. Huy! Ang iyang fingers is naka-open na siya, guys. So let's take it. So how to use it is i-open your name